Heyo guys, quick announcement before the video starts. Now, Turn 10 went and laid off about half its staff, and now we're pretty much going to be getting nothing but server maintenance, server stability, and maybe an update here or there. So, I don't want to say anything set in stone, but Forza as we know it could be dying as it is. It's been on life support for the past year and a half or 2 years of however long it's been out. And I think soon we're going to be seeing the plug get pulled on it. So don't be surprised if I stop racing in Forza here in the near future. I'm going to keep trying to, though. I mean, if I can find some good lobbies and some good racing in it, I'm going to record them and try and make a video on it. But as of right now, don't be surprised if that suddenly slows down or stops. So, with that being said, I did go and download Assetto Corsa Evo and Race Room, both of which I've heard good things about and I'm willing to try out. So, we'll see what the racing looks like. I got Assetto Corsa set up for a wheel. Probably not any good, but we'll just have to see how it goes. But as of right now, that's just the state of Forza, and I hope to see you guys next time. Now, with that being said, let's get to this video. Heyo guys, Unroyal here, just your normal amateur driver, and we're in Forza. Today I decided to try out the 2000 Silvia. I put a wide body kit and pretty much no power upgrades to it, simply due to the fact I want to try something different, get out of my big heavy muscle cars, and this was the result. So this was the second race I raced in it with, and I got bumped by an exo set there. Goes to show that even an exo set is a little heavier than this thing. But first race I didn't record because that was a bit of a trial run, just get a feel for the car and essentially see how it's going to react to certain things, and plus do some small tuning as needed. But either way, going into Graham Hill Bend, I do may have to go a little wide to avoid collision with Diggum Deep and FRMS Blade. And so far, going into Surtees, he was slightly unpredictable, so I had to let off the gas again quite a bit there. He does have a warning that he is slow, so I guess I should have heeded that warning quite a bit. But either way, do manage to get around him in the end on Pilgrim's Drop. I think this is, yep, reading the thing now. Going into Hawthorne Bend, and it looks like a Citroen or a Renault. I'm not quite sure what that symbol is. I am on a bit of a tiny screen as right now. I'm going to guess Citroen. But either way, we do have a little bit of a battle. It does get slightly physical. I do let off the gas here. Try not to push him off. I was trying a different way to avoid the Forza glue that we get. And I was hoping letting off the gas would do the trick. Was not, so learned a little something. We're going to go ahead and speed up a little bit of this lap to when I try to catch up to the Mercedes. Because I do mess up Graham Hill Bend again, giving Blade here just enough time to really catch up. Going into Surtees, though, he does ghost there. I'm not sure if he paused or if maybe the game thought he was going to run into me or something. But either way, I do have to give him quite a bit of space to avoid basically a half-assed rival mode, if you want to call it that. Going into Hawthorne Bend, though, I do try to take this as good as I possibly can. Note, this is the first time I've taken the car to Brands. I didn't really do too much testing outside of my testing on Mid-Ohio to get a feel for the car, plus a quick online race to see how I do with it under pressure. But going into Sheen's right now, he Blade is going to get right on the side of me, goes for a dive bomb, messes up my line just enough. I was not ready for his dive bomb at all, so he got the full-on advantage, so cannot complain whatsoever. Going into Clark Curve now, he does slowly pull away, but I am slowly pulling ahead of, or pulling him back in, if I can speak right now. It's only 10:30, but I am slightly hungover because at the time of doing this voiceover, it is 4th of July weekend for those of us in the States. Not gonna go into too much detail here, but either way, going into Druids now, I do take the exit quite a bit easier, trying to really reel him back in, at least trying to stay within his penalty range though, because let's face it, technicalities are our best friend in this game as long as they work the way they're supposed to, but we do speed up a little bit of the lap here. I do go into Sheens, I do go up on the inside, and it looks like ahead of me, the Mercedes and the RX-7 are having a bit of a battle. We got someone in the sand making sandcastles there. Not quite sure what car they were driving, or who they were for that matter, but either way, I do end up losing a little bit of time to Blade there. I was trying to anticipate his line as much as I could. He comes off as a little bit of an unpredictable racer, so at least in this race, who knows, he could have just been having a bad day or something like that and was just having an off race. But going into the Druids, once again, Mercedes gets around the RX-7. Blade goes in, looks like he goes into the back of this RX-7. He was sliding a little bit. Savannah RX-7 goes into the Mercedes, and it does get slightly physical. I think that's what slowed him down just that much. Going into Surtees right now, I am slowly but surely trying to catch up to him. Savannah RX-7 gets around the Mercedes. I stick behind, get within his draft, go in on the outside, and basically overpower him just a little bit. Was not expecting that. Normally Mercedes has a little bit of power, and it looks like the Porsche pushed the RX-7 off just a little bit. Whether that was intentional or not, I don't know. Maybe he was just trying to go into his defensive line, but I'll let you guys decide that one. Anyways, going around Dingle Dell, and yes, that is apparently the turn name, going into Sheens. He does block me off going into Sterling's and going on the clearways now. I don't know if blocking is going to be his go-to thing, but we will see. Going into Clark Curve, he does tab me. I was in his blind spot though, so standard racing incident. I couldn't really get out of his way, so we're going to speed up a little bit of this lap when I finally catch up to him at Druids. Now, it is a bit of a three-way battle right now. I got the Mercedes driven by WAR or War the Witch here. Not sure if he's in a really good esports team or what. But either way, he is behind me. I'm trying to catch up to Blade here, who does psych me out a little bit. He does go blind or throw me off a little bit. I do end up losing control of the car a little bit. Got off the Witch. Finally managing to try and get around FRMS Blade. He does try pushing me off. I push back into him. Try not to let him bully me off the track. But either way, right now we are going around Westfield Bend. I do end up catching up to him. Give him a little bit of arrow wash. He does go off the course there. But now the Witch right beside me. And he is going to get the better line, so I have no choice but to let him on through. Looks like Blade was making a lot of mistakes there as well. Sheeterman almost goes into the back of me going through Sterling's there. And now Blade went off making sandcastles. I think my little battle with him had him pushing his car just a little too wide. He probably felt like he had to push his car quite a bit too hard in order to keep up with me and the Witch here. Where now me and him are going to have a really good battle here on the final lap. Going into the Druids, I did have to straighten out to avoid a collision there. Took a really late apex. Not really how I'd want to go, but either way, Catching up to the Witch here. Going into Graham Hill Bend. One of these days I'm going to memorize these turn names. Trying to get on the inside at, what is it, Surtees? Does not work out for me. I do end up slowing down quite a bit here. Losing quite a bit of time. Slowly but surely reeling him in. I never thought I'd see the day a Nissan has horsepower over a Mercedes, but he does go on the defensive line. I managed to go in on the outside, get right beside him. A little bit of contact was made. But again, on the outside, going into Westfield Bend, more contact was made. He does lose control of his car. I feel like that was more my fault. I have a feeling I should have backed off just a little bit. But I'll let you guys decide. But either way, we are going to finish this race in third place. And then just let the rest of this race play out, and we will go on into the next race. Okay, after getting it properly painted with the Nerdy Bobo's touch, we ended up taking it to VIR, or Virginia International Raceway. Note, I am not very good on this track at all, so pretty good start right out the gate. So far, getting around quite a few people going into the horseshoe. I had to pause there because I did almost go into, whoever was in that Porsche, I didn't quite catch their name, but I was not gonna 100% take them out, so pause it, drop a few spots, and then go from there. Now to chase down Cinnamon Girl, 1530, or not 1537, just 537, in the BMW M1. So far, she's doing a pretty good job trying to stay on that Nissan Silvia's backside. I am shown to have a little bit of power, so I'm gonna just slowly creep around to the side there. Just like that, trying to get around her pretty easily. Now trying to catch up to RBHM Grumpy. Going into South Bend. Now, this is the part that I never get right to save my life. Along with Oak Tree, turns 11 and 12. A little bit of a tap from Cinnamon Girl. Probably most likely my fault, because I tend to brake way too much in that corner. Going down the back straight now. Slowly but surely catching up to the group in front of me. So far, doing a pretty good job at it. Slowly but surely creeping up. Okay, Saddam is actually has a little bit of power over me, so he's gonna mess up Roller Coaster though. He was looking backwards for a minute, not really what you want to be doing. Eagle-eyed M44 behind me though, and he is putting the pressure on. Getting right beside me. My indicator to say, hey, someone's near you is going on the fritz. Going down the front straight right now. He is right on my quarter panel. I had to take this a little wide, and he gets around me pretty easily. Not gonna lie. Going in the horseshoe, I don't mess this up again, so... But at the end of the day, he is gonna get the move done. And he's pretty much gonna take away, so we're just gonna go ahead and skip ahead to lap 3. Now, this is where I start messing up a lot. I held 6th place pretty well, not gonna lie. But Rob's terrific in the 350Z or 370Z behind me. I'm not quite sure which model is in this game. I could be mistaken. At least I think that's a 3-something-Z, judging by the front end. But I do mess up turn 9 going into South Bend. But South Bend, I really mess it up. Going turn to Silvia into a big lawnmower. Actually, now I look at it, that looks like a BRZ. But either way, Messed that corner up real bad, and Rob's Terrific is just going to take it away. And, of course, if you thought that was bad, we're going to go ahead and skip ahead to lap 4. Because not too much happens after that, but... Going into roller coaster, I mess up this turn. I don't... Well, I slow down a little too much. And, of course, take the rumble curbs. Little too hard. Car bounces up and down. And I just cannot get it back under control. Cut some grass there. Cut some more grass. Rick the Goat gets around me. Cinnamon Girl gets around me as well. Greg 974 really quickly closing the gap, but I do manage to recover quite a bit in time. But A. Prouts gets around Greg, and they are both catching up real quick. Going into the horseshoe, we're actually going to go ahead and skip a majority of this lap. By that, I mean speed it up, because like clockwork, I let A. Prouts put the pressure on me, and I mess up South Bend once again. So him and Greg both get back around me rather easily. And we're going to go ahead and skip ahead to the end of the race. I do get around Greg, but I do end the race in... I honestly forget, I didn't quite catch it. In 10th place. But again, never was good at VIR, so... You know, let's move on to the next race. Alright guys, final race of the video, and we are taking this to Sunset Peninsula. So, right out the gate, I end up running in the back of the Corvette. Someone else runs in the back of me. They do apologize, even though it was unnecessary. So, David R., if you are watching this by any chance, just know you had no fault in that collision whatsoever. I was not expecting the Corvette to be at a standstill coming off the line, so no hard feelings on that one. But anyway, side by side with at Dima, and I think he's in a Mustang, if I recall correctly. Yup, a 65 Mustang, one of my favorite cars. Guess I haven't made that known, but anyways, going through the I think that would classify as a chicane. I could be wrong, but staying on the outside, getting past quite a few people there. Don't know how I managed to do that. This thing really doesn't have that much power, but you could say well, in a weird way, I did kind of build it with a GT4 in mind, because I do miss those racing. Ferrari coming out of nowhere. I end up getting thrown off my line just a little bit, because I was not expecting him to pop out of nowhere. Now we got a 370Z losing control during these little bends here. And again, this is a factory or a fantasy track, so I don't really know the names. Getting around that 370Z like nothing. And not really much happens here, so we're just going to go ahead and skip ahead to when some actions happen. Finally caught up to finally free after learning my line. I'm not really good on the reverse variant at Sunset. Nor am I really good at Sunset Peninsula as a whole, due to the fact that it was mainly up until Forza Horizon 4, if I recall correctly, that this track was around with Fujimi Kato. And of course, I didn't get into Forza until Forza Horizon 4, so I try to go on the inside of Finally Free there. He blocks it off really nice. Now, he does have a little bit more horsepower than I do, so that's when he's going to start really getting ahead of me and make it kind of difficult for me to make a pass. But I do know I have cornering ability over him. But if you take a look at my rear view mirror, you'll notice a what looks like a BRZ or a Toyota 86 behind me. So this is now turning into a three-way battle between me, Finally Free, and TR Starks, where I finally get around Finally Free. And it looks like TR Starks is going to do the exact same thing, and now we're both just going to pull ahead. Going into these next set of turns, a little, I honestly don't even know what you'd call this turn, to be honest with you. Again, it's fantasy track. I can't really pull anything up to call it by name or anything like that, but either way, going into this right-hander here, Toyota 8. Whatever that is, a Toyota, I forget the name of it. I'm drawing a complete blank. He is putting pressure on me right now from Mr. Starks there. Trying to hold my line as good as I possibly can. Also trying to be as predictable as I can, because in racing, When you're racing this close, you don't really want to be too unpredictable because someone might try to make a move and really mess up big time by taking yourself out, by taking you out and taking themselves out, which is never a fun bit. Now, I did lose a little bit of time here trying to block off this little line there. And by block off, I mean play defensively because I didn't really get on the gas as soon as I'd probably want to because I was more focused on what he was doing. So I guess you could say it was an accidental block. But either way, going around the big bend left-hander here, he does get right by my side. I've got the inside lane though, so I'm able to play it a little defensively. So I'm able to keep my position in 7th place. But either way, he is still keeping up with me, putting pressure on. He's not really letting me give much room for a mistake. Almost like right there where I do dip a couple tires off into the dirt. And he is going to try and make a move. He backs out of it really quickly though after I close it off. So far it is one heck of a race at the moment. So far, going through these next sets of bends, he's trying to find an opening. He cannot find one. Going into this right-hander, I take it as tight as I possibly can. The rebound or bump stiffness did not like my little stunt there, so car got a little squirrely, kept it under control somehow though. Going through that little, don't even know if you can call that a chicane, but either way, I do mess up this corner once again, but in a good way because I get on the gas a little too soon. Rotates it just a little bit more, but I do have to let off the power again just to regain control of the car. And now is when he's going to show the power. He goes in on the inside. I don't go for a block because I know exactly where he is. I'm not going to be that type of racer where I try to completely block someone when I know they have the position, especially when they're that close, because I'm not going to ruin my race over one position. And a lot of people shouldn't, even though I see it all the time. But either way, Toyota slowly but surely pulling away. I'm keeping up with them pretty nicely, though, through these bends here. So far, so good. Just trying to stay within his draft range at least. Hit the brakes a little too late there, but it does pay out in the end. Take that corner a little wide there, but I did want it because I wanted to cut this corner as much as I possibly can. So far, going into these little bends, he is slowly pulling away because this is where, if you put the power down, you might be able to get away. But luckily, he cuts in way too deep on this right-hander and messes up a little bit. But it's not enough for me to retake that position. He closes off just in time. So now I'm able to stay within his draft range. Letting off the gas here just to not mess up this one. He does go a little sideways there. Has to recover. Loses a little bit of time. I'm trying to cut these corners as tight as I possibly can. Staying right on his bumper, trying to make a mistake. But so far, right now, it is not looking like it's going to happen. He says good race. And a couple of messages were exchanged because that was a great race. Finishing in 8th place. Guys, that's going to end the video. And I hope to see you guys next time. So just pretend I said something corny here to get you to like, comment, and subscribe. See y'all later.